When did you realize your parents genuinely didn't see you as human? My parents forced me to share a room with my older brother through age 23, while my sister got the master suite because they believed boys don't need privacy or personal space. My parents bought their 5-bedroom house when I was 10, and they immediately gave my sister Maddie the master suite with its own bathroom and walk-in closet, even though she was only 8. Mom insisted Maddie needed space for her anxiety, while Dad believed that comfort made men weak because he'd grown up sleeping on floors in military barracks. They moved Hayden and me into the smallest bedroom with 2 twin beds pushed against opposite walls, convinced they were building our character the way their own fathers had done with them. The arrangement felt temporary when I was young, but by the time I graduated college and started my accounting job, nothing had changed except Hayden had turned 26 and was bringing home different women every week while I tried to sleep 3 feet away. Maddie had left for college, but her suite stayed empty and waiting like a shrine, while Hayden's side of our shared room looked like a frat house had exploded with empty bottles and dirty clothes everywhere. He worked part-time at a vape shop and spent the rest of his time dealing substances from our shared dresser, turning our room into a revolving door of strangers and smoke. The worst part was that I paid $800 a month in rent to my parents, while Hayden paid nothing because he was supposedly finding himself, and they covered Maddie's $1,200 college apartment while keeping her room as storage. When I tried talking to them about getting my own room, Dad laughed and said that real men don't need their own Princess Tower, and Mom clutched her chest like I'd personally wounded her by suggesting that families shouldn't support each other during Hayden's extended tough time that had somehow lasted 8 years. Everything started falling apart when I met Kylie at work, and we dated for 3 months before she agreed to come over, which required me to clean obsessively and beg Hayden for privacy. He promised to stay out until midnight, but brought home 2 women at 10. Kylie left immediately after witnessing the chaos of my living situation. She broke up with me the next week, explaining that she couldn't date someone who lived like a teenager, which stung because I couldn't even bring my girlfriend home without being humiliated. I thought my life couldn't get any worse, but one day, Hayden brought home Kylie just 2 months after our breakup. I could hear them through the paper-thin walls laughing about how uptight I was. I slept in my car in the office parking lot after that, and showed up to work looking so rough that my boss pulled me aside to ask if I was using substances. That made me realize that this living situation was destroying my professional life along with my personal one. That day, I signed a lease for a studio apartment and started planning my escape carefully by slowly packing boxes and storing them in my trunk while changing my mailing address to a P.O. box. I kept all my important documents, including therapist records, in my car after signing the lease, knowing I might need them. I waited for Maddie's graduation weekend when I knew they'd all be gone, but my mother noticed a credit check notification on my account since she still monitored my finances despite my age. They confronted me during dinner, where they demanded to know why I'd betrayed the family like this. Dad screamed about how I was abandoning my responsibilities, while Mom sobbed that I was killing her by refusing to support Hayden through his struggles. Then they gave me an ultimatum that I could leave, but I'd be dead to them with no holidays or family events or relationship with Maddie's future kids. When I tried to explain that I just needed basic privacy and sleep to function at my job, they kicked me out and put my belongings in garbage bags on the lawn. They even had the audacity to leave a note saying I could come back when I learned about family values. When I didn't come back after a day like they expected, my parents began calling my workplace to report that I was having a mental breakdown and needed help. They nearly got me fired until I provided the documentation from my therapist about the abusive living situation. When they realized that tactic didn't work, they showed up at my new apartment